The field goal has to be last resort.
Mira's already back in. Near the 2-minute warning, 2nd and 10. Carr lofting for Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. Saints take the lead.
Well, there you go, right on cue, and great play call. Now they're going to go for 2. They want to try to make this a 7-point game. An extra point making it 6 does you no good, so all their best 2-point play, but I just love the aggressive nature. They're not trying to just bleed the clock. They're saying, I don't want to be up 2. I want to try to be up 7. And that's really good aggressive play calling there by Kubiak and good decision making there by Dennis Allen, the head coach.
Carr drops it right in the bucket, and then teaching tape toe drag from Chris Olave. His first touchdown of the season, the Saints' first touchdown of the day. And the 2-point conversion coming here with 2:03 left. Quick snap. Williams, low throw, not going to get it. Zach Bond was right on top of him, even if it was a good throw. Saints have the lead, but it's only 5. As we look back at the touchdown from Carr to Olave.
Yeah, great play design. They start empty. They bring Kamara back, and he's just going to run. Look at that inside steam. He gets Gardner Johnson thinking he's got to protect his inside, and that's just a mismatch. Gardner Johnson versus Chris Olave. That is not C.J. Gardner Johnson's strength as a player, defending off coverage against one of the fastest receivers in the league. That's about as easy, and then you mentioned it. That is unbelievable awareness, dragging that foot, and the special teams. Let's dive into this kickoff here for a second, Joe. There's 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Ideally, you don't want to kick a touchback here. You want to kick it short, make Philly return it, get this game under the 2-minute warning. Now they can only stop the game with timeouts. I'd be curious, Darren Rizzi, the special teams coordinator, how they play this.
Well, they've been the best team in this young season at avoiding touchbacks, at using that landing zone and forcing the returns. So right in their wheelhouse for Blake Grupe. So Carr and the Saints are in front, looking for their first 3-0 start in more than a decade. First tight game they've been in. They have an answer right there. All right, so it is a chip shot and perfectly done. Forces the return from Kenneth Gainwell. Gets this to the 2-minute warning, and Gainwell takes it to the 31. All right, so here we go. 3 timeouts for the Eagles. Tight one here, a defensive slugfest. Saints have just taken the lead at 12-7, and the Eagles have it out of the 2-minute warning with all 3 timeouts. Jalen Hurts underneath Jahan Dotson, who's going to have to be one of his favorite targets here because they came into the game with no A.J. Brown. They have since lost Devontae Smith. Limited options for Hurts. Second and 5. Underneath again. Tackle made right away by Willie Gay on Paris Campbell. There is a flag in the backfield.
Yeah, actually, I think it's going to be on New Orleans. I think they're going to get hands to the face, which really changes this from 3rd and medium here. You can see Alante Taylor. He came off the right side.
Legal use of hands. Hands to the face on the defense, number 1.
Yeah.
That's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
All right, so they get an automatic first down. Watch, look at the left side of your screen. Saquon Barkley comes over in pass protection. Look, he's got both his hands right up under his face mask. Pretty easy decision, so only a 5-yard penalty, but still, it's the fresh set of downs. Instead of it being 3rd and 6, it's 1st and 10.
1:28, still all 3 timeouts. Barkley, the blitz pickup right there, has had the biggest play of this game, a 65-yard touchdown. Hurts is in trouble. Hurts is sacked. Brian Brzee, his 2nd one today.
It's a great blitz design. They show just 3 down linemen. They bring the fourth from the second level, and Brian Brzez's had a quiet game here today. Had a great rookie year, first-round pick. Little stunt inside between Willie Gay, number 6, Brian Brzez, and again, Hurts just holding on to the ball a little too long. Something he has a tendency to do, and Brian Brzez made his biggest impact play here late in the fourth quarter.
Makes it 2nd and 16. Hurts 250 yards, but an interception and a fumble. Looking to be the late hero. Heartbreak late on Monday. Can they turn it around here in New Orleans?
Again, they're just in a 3-man front, so they only got 3 down linemen, 2 nose and 2 edge players. Everybody else is a backer or a secondary player. Brzez on the nose.
So we're going to look to throw it. Hurts going outside. That is Wilson, and incomplete. Alontae Taylor the coverage on the rookie Wilson. 3rd and long.
You have to wonder how many reps here in this 2-minute offense has Wilson, the young rookie, even gotten. Just so unconventional to be forced to have to play out of 12 personnel. This is usually an 11 personnel, 3 receivers, 1 back, 1 tight end, 2-minute must-pass situation. You covered it, though, with the amount of injuries. They got no choice to have both Wilson and Dallas Goedert on the field.
3rd and 16. Trying to get some of it back. They'll get plenty. Dallas Goedert is wide open. Down the sideline. Inside the 10. 1st and goal for Philly. 60 yards from Hurts to Goedert.
Well, you're probably wondering, how does he get this open? It's man coverage and just a great job running interference from the other side. The way you teach that is you're not trying to get yourself open. You need to run at Dallas Goedert's man. Look, and then just avoid contact. Will Harris can't keep up with him, and Dallas Goedert's had his best game of the year by far in the game they've needed him the most. And now you got to wonder, if you scored too fast, of course you need a touchdown. But then all of a sudden, if you go for 2, there's a lot going on here, Joe. This is going to be awesome.
Got to hurry, got to use the timeout with that play clock running out. Wow,
this is
timeout
great.
Number 2, Philadelphia. 30-second timeout.
Hello to everybody that just watched the Packers finish off the Titans. This game didn't have a whole lot going on through 3 quarters, but it is blown up in the 4th. Dallas Goedert, you said one of the best games of his season. That's one of the best of his career. A huge play right there.
He's had 3 plays over 30 yards in one day for a tight end. We said that element of explosiveness. Who was going to do it with A.J. Brown now being sidelined from injury 2 weeks in a row? You assume it's Devontae Smith, but now he gets taken out of the game. Big play offense is back for this Philly offense. And man, last week they lose a heartbreaker. Now they're on the other side of the coin. They got a chance to take a lead here late in the 4th.
Big plays back, but with a different cast of characters. Goedert and Barkley doing the job, but now can they finish the job? 1st and goal with 1:05.
I wouldn't be surprised if you keep it on the ground here. Just make the Saints use their last timeout.
They do. It's Barkley. Surge from the offensive line. And a touchdown from Barkley.
Yeah, smart play call. Obviously, you're going to score. That's clear. But if he gets tackled, you force New Orleans to take their timeout. So now, when they do get the ball back, they can't stop it. But, of course, great job up front. Saquon, now they're going to go for 2. They want to try to make this thing a 3-point game so a field goal doesn't beat them in regulation.
Barkley's 2nd touchdown of the day. And the Eagles back in front. Back and forth we go in the last minutes here at the Superdome.
Remember how important the Saints failed at their 2-point play.
Looking for the 3-point lead. Right downhill again, and Barkley slices through. Yeah, the Eagles get that dose of comfort, leading by 3.
I didn't have to get too fancy on that. Just, all right, they've had no answer for Saquon here in the second half. Shotgun, put Goddard in motion, and just run right at him. Saquon Barkley, him and Goddard have really taken over this game for this Philly offense, dealing with some injuries, and it was Goddard that got him started with the big play on the shallow cross. Let's take a look at it here. Watch Will Harris, number 5. He has Goddard man-to-man. But watch the interference here underneath. And watch, they run into each other right here. Lattimore and the safety trying to cut the shallow. They just run into each other, and Goddard's off to the races.
And it is a career-high 10 catches, 170 yards for Goddard. And it's redemption for Barkley. Less than a week after his drop on 3rd down, he said after the game, "I catch that, we win." Well, if he's not here today, they don't have a chance.
Absolutely.
High kick into the end zone. And a knee taken by Shaheed. So now it's back on Derek Carr's plate with 1:01 and just 1 timeout. Coming up next on Fox, America's Game of the Week. Lamar Jackson leads the Ravens against Dak and the Cowboys, or the Niners and the Rams, or the Lions Cardinals. Check for the game in your area right here on Fox. We got a finish coming here you don't want to miss, though. This 4th quarter's been awesome. Saints and Eagles in the Dome. Field goal for the tie, touchdown likely for the win from the 30. Carr goes underneath. It's Mason Tipton, and he will get out of bounds at the 35.
All right, so let's do a quick recheck here. Under a minute, the Saints have 1 timeout. Think back to a couple possessions ago. Carr had to take a timeout. They struggled getting a play in, so they've had to waste 2 early timeouts in the second half, only leaving them with 1. They want to keep that in their pocket as long as they can. So if they get tackled in bounds, get up on the line. Don't use that timeout until you have to, preferably before a field goal try.
Still no Darius Slay at corner. Carr lofting into traffic and picked off. Reed Blankenship. The Eagles defense gets the stand they couldn't 1 week ago.
And you can see Carr, he's under pressure. He just can't throw this ball. He's trying to fit this thing into Shaheed down the middle. I don't think Shaheed thinks that ball's coming to him at all. And let's take a look here. His hands are under it. The ball doesn't move. I think that's a clean pick. And 2nd and 5, you don't have to get it all in one play.
And it's Reed Blankenship, who's gone from an undrafted player to their leading tackler last year to the game-sealing interception right here. And Carr limps over there to the sideline. It's fitting, isn't it, that it's the defense with the exclamation 1 week after all the talk was about how the defense couldn't stop anybody, couldn't get the stop down the stretch. They've been the biggest story throughout this game. And it looks like they've put the finishing touches on what will be a massive bounce-back road win. Now we're going to take a look.
Rolling on the field was an interception.
To make sure that he did get this one.
Yeah, those first couple looks that we got, and it's important to say, okay, everyone always looks at it and says, oh, the ball hit the ground. If it's being secured, it can hit the ground as long as it's not deemed to have been to move and at any point lose control over it. So let's take a look at it right here. So there, his right hand is under it. We kind of lose it behind his back. Let's see what Dean thinks. Dean, what do you think there? It might hit the ground, but does he ever lose control of the ball?
That's the key. I don't see any loss of control. It can touch the ground provided he maintains control. To me, it looks like he's got firm control. At best, to me, this is a stance.
Yeah, it's a good point by Dean. Remember, it was ruled an interception on the field, so barring an angle that shows something completely different from what we've seen, you have to imagine they just, at the very least, stick with the call.
Yeah, I think there's no way this gets flipped.
After reviewing the play, the ruling of an interception stands. First down.
And the interception does stand. And guess who is bringing the pressure? Brandon Graham once again making an impact.
Brandon Graham, Jalen Carter, this defensive front, they've come under some fire. They've got a lot of investment along that defensive line in Philadelphia. And the last couple weeks, they felt like they weren't playing up to standard. Vic Fangio was very honest, and tell you what, they've answered the bell here, and they've clearly been the biggest difference in this game, run and pass. The Philly D-line has dominated this ballgame.
Speaking of under fire, how about Nick Sirianni's week? You know, not just the week, but really the last, 10 games or so. They were 10-1 last year, fade down the stretch. They come into this game having lost 7 of 9. A lot of talk about the way he handled the end of the game last week. And you're in all these tight games, you're going to find yourselves with decisions on your plate like he's had to make throughout this game. Bottom line, though, looks like his team is going to get out of this game with a win. Some extracurricular after the play there. Sirianni over there to make sure nothing.
It's Jalen Carter. He's chirping back and forth with Tyrann Mathieu and Lattimore and all those guys. And Big Dom is trying to keep him. Now Sirianni's running over to him. That's Clint Hurt. He's the defensive line coach. Big Dom, Sirianni.
He played a good game. Let's go ahead and just leave it there.
Yeah.
Some old SEC love. Georgia boy to an old Tiger. Yeah, for the Eagles, you're going to go from what I think is an underrated win week 1 down in Brazil over the Packers to that tough loss week 2 there. That close to being a 3-0 team. And Jalen Hurts, the early interception, didn't throw any touchdowns today, but he winds up over 300 yards passing on a day where he's down his top 2 receivers.
Yeah, moving the ball was not a problem for Philly. I mean, both through the air. Of course, Saquon had the big run. It really wasn't the issue. The issue was turning the ball over and the failed 4th down tries. I mean, that's really what even created this game to be even close, and defense just continued to get stop after stop after stop, and the defense is the reason they won this game.
Well, this one is not going to totally wipe away what's happened over the last 10 games or so, but what a sigh of relief for the Eagles and a fresh feeling coming out of here with a 15-12 win. They overcome the early interception, the fumble, the 2 turnovers on downs. They had a punt blocked. They had a missed field goal at midfield that led to a touchdown, and somehow they overcome all of it to get to 2-1.